Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Nicole from LiveX, and today I'm going to explain two different methods for redundancy in VVCR, primary and backup clusters, and primary and backup encoders. The first method involves creating two clusters in two different regions. You'll want the first one in the region closest to you, and the second cluster in the next region closest to you. So currently I'm in our Green Bay facility in Wisconsin, so my primary cluster will be in Ohio, and my backup cluster will be in North Virginia. So this method allows for region redundancy. VVCR runs off of AWS data centers in different regions around the world. If one data center is having issues and it's affecting your streams, having a backup in a different region is helpful because it's extremely rare that two data centers are having issues at the same time. So when creating your stream, I'll just give this a name quick, call this cluster test. And then for a primary cluster, you'll select the cluster that's in the region closest to you and the second region as your backup cluster. Note the backup cluster option won't appear unless you have two or more clusters created. The other method is to have a primary and backup encoder. And for this method, you need to have one cluster with two or more instances in it. So I'm just going to call this 2 instances. We'll make this a T3 medium, Ohio specified, and then you just press the add instance button and press save. So then when you go to stream creation, I'm just going to call this test. You'll have the cluster with the 2 instances as your primary, and since we have multiple clusters, you can still have one of those other ones as our backup. So I'm just going to select Ohio, and then under encoder redundancy, you're going to check primary and backup encoders. So for our primary, we'll select our first instance under our 2 instance cluster, and backup, we'll select the second one. And since we have a backup cluster that's only on the single encoder, we'll have that as our third backup as well. And then you can press save. And now once we go under the inputs tab, we have 3 different SRT addresses that we can send 3 different streams to, all on separate encoders on your facility. And then when you go to the outputs tab, you have this drop down menu where you can select the output information for each of these streams, and then you can preview them down here as normal. So using the instance redundancy method allows your streams to all stay within the same VPC, which you'll need if you're transcoding your streams to NDI and pulling them into your production modules. And if you're streaming to a destination with a stream that has a primary and backup encoder enabled, you can switch between the two. Just go into your destination settings and switch the stream encoder to backup. This will take a few seconds for the change to happen on the platform. And that's everything you need to know about redundancy in VVCR. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. And if you found this video helpful, please leave a like and check out our other videos on VVCR. Thanks for watching and happy broadcasting.